Hey guys, it's KevyDog4. If you are subscribed to my channel or just somehow stumbled across my NBA Finals prediction video, then you may know that I have, at the beginning of the series before it even started, I made a video predicting the series and the keys for each team and which team was going to win each game of the series. Well, I now have an NBA Finals outcome video that basically I state my predictions, every key that I had, and what games I predicted each team was going to win back at the beginning of the series, and I'm going to tell you whether it happened or not and why. So here is what I have for my prediction for the series, like my overall what team. Oh, look. This is MLB. Let's go to the NBA. There we go. Okay, so I had my series prediction for my team and the keys for the series and if they happen or not. So I'm going to start out with my prediction and why. So at the beginning of the series, I predicted Cleveland was going to win in 7, and yeah, that happened. What else do I need to say? Cleveland won in 7. So for why I thought that Cleveland was going to win in 7, I thought that healthy roster was going to be the key, and no one was injured majorly throughout the series. I mean, there were a couple things like Kyrie Irving hurt his foot in Game 6. He got stepped on. LeBron kind of hurt his wrist in Game 7. But no one was majorly injured. And Bogut, Andrew Bogut for the Warriors, his injury, when he went down, the team did not win another game. So I thought that the healthy roster for Cleveland was key, and just one starter for Golden State crippled them. And I predicted that Cleveland's 5-day rest after the conference finals was going to help them, and Golden State only had 2 days rest. In the beginning, Cleveland went down 2-0, and that rest meant pretty much nothing, but I said that, yeah, it affected the series in the end because Golden State having that extra 3-day rest for Cleveland, Golden State seemed more worn out in the second half of the series, like Game 5 and beyond, Game 4 possibly even, because the production just started to go downhill. I think had they taken the Thunder out earlier in the series, the rest could have helped them to push through and win the championship, but it didn't happen. So I'm saying that yes, that was a big key thingy that happened, So okay, so after I predicted the series and why that was going to happen, I had some keys for Golden State and Cleveland to their series win. And so I started with Golden State's keys. They had several of them that I thought were really important. I'll go through those and why or why not that happened or not. So I thought a key for Golden State was for them to jump out to an early lead. That typically did not happen throughout the series. The games, for the most part, were typically close until the second quarter, and then one team or the other ballooned out to the big lead or whatever. The only close game of the series was Game 7. The rest of them were decided by at least 10 points. But they didn't jump out to a super duper early lead. It always seemed to take them a while, except for maybe 1 or 2 games. But Golden State never really jumped out to the early first quarter lead. So Curry and Thompson, good shooting? No, definitely not. They struggled for the majority of the series, especially Klay Thompson. Curry had a couple games that were really big. Thompson may have had one, but in the end, both of them struggled for the most part to break the 20-point mark. A presence at center, yeah, they had that presence until Bogut was injured. Bogut was a very quiet star, but his injury, in my opinion, cost Golden State the series. So I put a yes there because there was a presence, but once he was injured, it was completely gone. And Draymond Green's presence, I predicted was going to be a key. It was sort of there, but not really, so I put a no. He didn't have a huge presence in the majority of like the middle games of the series, and he was suspended for Game 5, so his presence was completely gone there, and that was the turning point in the series, was the Bogut injury and the Draymond Green suspension, and that happened right at the same time, and that changed the momentum in the series. So I put a no there. Stop Kevin Love, yes. He struggled for the vast majority of the games. I can't remember what happened before he got the concussion in Game 3. In Games 1 and 2, I don't remember how his production was. I'm pretty sure it was low in one of the games. I'm pretty sure Kyrie had a bad game. I think it was Game 2. I'm pretty sure Love struggled as well there. I don't remember what happened in Game 1, but Game 7 was his biggest game. And it wasn't in scoring, it was in rebounding. So he struggled for the most part. So that key, they were able to do that. And good ball movement, I said yes for this too. They threw Cleveland off early in the series. The ball movement really messed them up in the span where Golden State went up 2-0. I think that those 2 wins were mostly because of their ball movement. So the Cleveland keys here, production from both Love and Irving, I said no, because Love had, as I said earlier, little production, and I said from both Love and Irving. Irving did amazing, but Kevin Love did not, so I said no, because the production, it was between the two, was mostly from Irving. Kevin Love, he only produced in Game 7. So the bench was the other key for me, and I said especially Matthew Dellavedova. I said no because they heavily relied on 2 bench players the entire series, and I'm talking about Richard Jefferson and Iman Shumpert here. Dellavedova barely played this series. Jefferson and Shumpert were the only big producers off the bench, especially Jefferson. But the other guys, they all just came in during garbage time, and even though they played, it was not for many minutes at all. So I said no for the bench. J.R. Smith's shooting, I said no as well. He was mostly absent. He was just playing. I mean, he played a lot, but he did not produce very much. He came through for them in the second half of the series because little by little he started scoring more and more and more points. But it was never like the 6 and 7 3-pointer games that he had for the rest of the playoffs and the regular season. He had like 2 or 3 threes at his best. I think he had one game where he had 4 3-pointers. So his production was not very high compared to normal, but he did come through when they needed him. So man defense, I said that they needed to use a man defense. They didn't, but it ended up being fine. They didn't try the same defense this year as they did last year. Last year they tried the zone, or the man, in games 2 and 3, I remember, especially because Matthew Dellavedova was guarding Steph Curry through those games, shut him down. I remember that. But this year they didn't try that. New coaching philosophy, different defense. They didn't try to do what they did last year, and it ended up working out. So I said no, that they didn't use that key, but it ended up not really needing to exist. That defense, their style of defense, was not as important as I thought it would be. Rebounds, yes, they got a lot of rebounds. They out-rebounded Golden State throughout the entire series. I don't know if there was any game where the rebounding was better for Golden State than it was for Cleveland, because it seemed like they were getting 10 more rebounds than Golden State throughout the entire series. So, and the next key was to keep the ball away from Curry and Thompson. I said yes. I saw the ball in their hands quite a bit because, yeah, they're Curry and Thompson. They're kind of the stars of the team, but their production was low throughout the entire series. So I said, yes, the key of stopping Curry and Thompson, basically, which is kind of the same effect as keeping the ball away from them, it happened. And they needed to adjust their lineup to fit Golden State's lineup on their defense. Yes, they did it. With Kevin Love and Richard Jefferson. Kevin Love, when he was struggling throughout most of the series, they slowly started to morph Jefferson into the lineup. He replaced Kevin Love when he was struggling, and he took some playing time from Love, but it ended up being effective. And when Kevin Love finally was able to get his act together and play well, which was in Game 7, Kevin Love got some of his minutes back, but they adjusted their lineup based on how their lineup was doing. And there were times when I saw Mozgov in the first quarter, or in the mid-series, because they were trying new things to stop Golden State. So that key ended up happening. So here was my original series prediction. It ended up having the same effect. The teams just ended up winning at different times. So I predicted 4 Cleveland wins, 3 Golden State wins. That happened. But I predicted a Game 1 Golden State win, Game 2 Cleveland, Game 3 Cleveland, Game 4 Golden State, Game 5 Cleveland, Game 6 Golden State, and Game 7 Cleveland. 4 of those were correct, 3 of those were not. Game 1, Golden State, yes. They took the first game in Oracle Arena. Game 2, home court advantage, still with Golden State. I predicted Cleveland would win this one. No, they did not. Usually what happens is the teams will split the first 2 games, but Golden State came out with the Game 2 win. They had the 2-0 series lead. Game 3, I predicted Cleveland would bounce back, and yeah, they did. Golden State did not win a Game 3 throughout this entire postseason. Game 4, I predicted Golden State would win this one. At this point, it was a 2-1. It was 2-1 for what was it? You know what? I think I marked something wrong here. So Game 1 went to Golden State. Game 2 went to Golden State. Game 3 went to Cleveland. And then Game 4 went to Golden State. Did it? Yep, it did. So I marked this wrong. Golden State ended up winning Game 4. I marked that they didn't. I don't know why. But, so it looks like 5 of these were actually correct for me. So, Game 4 went to Golden State. They were playing this game in Cleveland. So, Golden State won Game 4. And this was where the advantage was 3-1 for Golden State. So at this point, it looked like all hope was lost for Cleveland. It looked like they had no shot of winning this championship because no team had ever come back from 3-1 before. But then Game 5 came around. Cleveland won it. I predicted Cleveland would win Game 5 in Oracle Arena. So what happened was Golden State won their first 2 games in Oracle. Cleveland won their first game in the Q, but they lost Game 4 at the Q. And then they went back and won Game 5 in Oracle. So at this point, Game 4 and 5, they had each won on the road. Each team had won on the road. Golden State, I predicted to win Game 6, but no, that didn't happen. At this point, Cleveland won Game 6. This was at the Q, so they won at home court again. Series all tied up. Game 7, was Golden State going to protect their home floor, or was Cleveland going to go in, steal the road game, and win the series? So they went back. I predicted Cleveland was going to win Game 7 in Oracle from the start, and it happened. So pretty much it was a battle of who could win more road games, and Cleveland did it. So that's basically my NBA Finals outcome based on my predictions before the series. Thanks for watching this video. I don't know if I'll be posting many videos until the start of the next NBA season, but I think I'll put in some baseball videos, football videos, hopefully free agent videos. As I said in my last video, I went on talking for like 2 minutes about this, but hopefully I will have some more videos up for you guys. So make sure you give this one a thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment on what videos you would like me to post on this channel while the NBA playoffs are not going on. Make sure you subscribe so you can see my videos that I post from this point forward. Actually, you should go back and watch all my playoffs videos because I did videos for each round, every game. So, if you want a little playoffs sequence type thing, you can go back and watch all my videos. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video whenever it decides to show up on the internet. So thanks for watching. I'll see you.